Listen, I don't want to waste your time. I'm trying to keep this video under 5 minutes. So, if you're a beginner in After Effects, you have to know about these 5 things. Maybe, just like me, you've been using Adobe softwares before. But when you open After Effects, there's a high chance it will feel both familiar but scary at the same time. And probably just like millions of other people out there, I've learned everything I know in After Effects from YouTube. So there's this one thing I want to get out of the way before we jump to the 5 things I promised, which is, this is not an in-depth tutorial. This, I think, for a beginner, is something more valuable than that. You see, in the beginning when you start out, you don't know what you don't know. So in this sense, it can become frustrating, time-consuming, or even make you close After Effects and never open it again. You know, you're gonna want to learn something. You'll go on YouTube and try to find a tutorial for that something you're looking for. Soon you'll realize you don't even know what to search for. I mean, I remember when I heard about rotoscoping, I was like, RoboCop? Yeah, I'm that old. So you ready? The first thing is called keyframing. This is pretty simple and probably what everyone starts with. When you have something, doesn't matter if it's text, video or photo, and you change the characteristics of that something throughout the timeline. Yeah. So the way I like to think about keyframing is, what do I want to change about an element and when do I want that to happen? So we're playing with characteristics and time. Yeah. So let's say I want this photo to become smaller within the next 2 seconds. I'll go in my timeline, create a keyframe with the current settings. I'll advance for 2 seconds in my timeline, go under scale and select how small I want my photo to become in 2 seconds. And the more you'll use After Effects, the more you'll realize keyframing applies to almost everything. Okay, let's go to the next one, and good luck to me keeping this under 5 minutes. The Puppet tool. I love this tool because you can do both basic and complicated things. It just depends on you, your creativity, and how much time you have on your hands. Using keyframing and the Puppet tool, you can do so many things. You can animate characters or make my face look better. Okay, next, motion tracking. Now, motion tracking does the obvious. It tracks a specific motion of an element, no matter what that is. But don't confuse it with keyframing, because it's a lot more than that. Well, in other words, motion tracking is a keyframing AI. What it could take you hours and hours, the software does in a couple of seconds. So it analyzes one specific motion and it lets you decide what you want to do with that information. Okay, let's talk about Rotos Cup. The Rotos Cup Brush is so powerful. If you've used Photoshop before, this will look familiar to you because it basically behaves like the quick selection tool. This tool can be used for so many purposes, but it can also become very time consuming. That's why I suggest in the beginning, try to make things float in your videos. This last one is an effect I love. It's very simple to apply and it will make you look like you really know what you're doing in After Effects. It's basically this. For this, all you'll have to do is import your audio file, create a new solid, and then go under Effects, Generate Audio Wave Spectrum. And from here on, I suggest get curious and see what all those settings on the left do to your new animation. I really hope you got some value out of today's video, and if you watched so far, you're the real deal. Thanks a lot for doing so, and I'll see you next week with a surprise. Ciao!